What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Smoke. I'm Brother Los.
Brother Jam.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Blackhand.
And Brother Blackhand back there on the cam. And we welcome you again, as always. Thank you for being here. 7 o'clock. I know it banged, so I know you're here watching. So make sure you hit that like button. Share with everybody. That's the main thing right now. We want you to continue sharing because a lot of y'all have been doing this, and we have been being contacted by people we didn't know. So that means you guys are sharing. So thank you all for that. We thank, our newest member for bringing people to us. I mean, because this is all it's about. As long as you tell about us, if you like what we do, then, hey, tell everybody else. Have them come check us out, too.
Absolutely.
So that way y'all have something to discuss on shit.
Right.
Yeah, we want to be that water cooler conversation.
Absolutely.
Right.
We want to be the troublemaker.
Did you see the Daily Smoke last night, man?
You know what I mean? We want to be the troublemaker.
So please share with your folks. Let them know about us.
Oh, man, we got the new subscriber, Guacamole Kid, man.
Right, what's up,
He been spitting
Guacamole
knowledge
Kid?
for real.
Right.
Before we went live, he been spitting knowledge,
I saw his comments. I was like, okay, we got somebody who
That's
interested.
exactly right. I want to know.
That's good.
I want to know. Exactly. Stick
Make
with
sure
us,
you
bro.
subscribe, like, and
Yeah.
share. But before we start, we got to pay bills. So, we want you to check out some of our sponsors and make sure that, and like to say we pay bills, but this is all on the, hey, we'll help you, you help us. And then once we get to where we're going, then we know we helped each other. So the first one is Bangin' 832 Radio. It's a streaming radio station?
Yes,
sir.
Streaming
It's online radio station.
And you can get to them at www.bangin832.com. And on Sundays at 7 p.m., they always show an episode of ours, of past episode. So make sure y'all go ahead and check that out. And again, it was, Bangin' 832, Sundays at 7 p.m., the Daily Smoke.
Yes.
And then one day, I don't know when, but one day we're going to be all loose. We're going to be all like jelly and shit because we're going to get massages.
Yeah.
Tamia's touch of care massage therapy. Matter of fact, we might have her do it right here. John going to be on the chair getting it. He's just going to melt.
Look, I'm just looking for my back to crack a couple times.
You know what I'm saying?
Orgasm.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So make sure y'all go to www.tamiaanderson.com to get a life, get a massage. That's what she says. And, hey, pretty soon we'll be able to tell you exactly what that's like. So
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to that.
Right, stay tuned for that. And then, of course, some homegrown brothers here, South Park Coalition, doing their 35th anniversary concert. Their 35th anniversary concert. These brothers have been representing Houston for 35 years. And these brothers are from that area, too, so they're part of that coalition.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, these are Houston legends. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Legends.
So this concert is on September 10th. Doors open at 8 p.m. and until 2 a.m. And you can get your tickets at Eventbrite. And they're, what is that?
Eventbrite?
It's at Scout Bar.
Yeah.
18307 Egret Boulevard, Bay Boulevard here in H-Town. And Eventbrite is $25 for tickets, pre-sale, $50 for VIP, and $30 at the door. That don't mean that 30 at the door gets you VIP too, though. So you gotta get VIP before they run out. And then for more information on all our sponsors, affiliates, and anybody that, hey, you want to help us, we help you. I'm like the Godfather,
A favor
I
for a favor.
Hey, I do you a favor. One day I'm gonna ask you for one too, but just know I'm not low. So I won't ask you for no stupid shit. Yeah, so make sure y'all check that out and go on to www.dailysmoke.com. And all our sponsors, affiliates are there. Anything you need to know about us is there. Upcoming events, profiles, bios, anything. Just go there and check it out. Even how to get a hold of us. Come have an experience with us here at the Wolf Den Studios. And for donations, and we need them because we're trying to make it better for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we broke. That's it. That's what we should have when that came up. Because we broke. Cash App, $TD Smoke. Anything you can do, but if you just hit that like button and you watch us all the time, you share, and you've been getting other people to subscribe, that's enough right there. That's
absolutely.
We appreciate that just as much as any type of donation. So what's up, brothers?
Man, we got a new viewer, man. I'm just taking this time out because that's how much we appreciate each one of our new viewers. Guacamole Kid. Do you know Guacamole Kid?
I'm not familiar with the name. I don't know what his real name is. But I don't know who Guacamole Kid is.
I know you speak Spanish. Do you know Guacamole Kid?
unless that's some shit Taco Bell's doing now, I don't know Guacamole Kid.
Do you know Guacamole Kid, Bob?
If Taco Bell watching this, then we good.
Hey, man, we got a new viewer, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I'm
We
glad
appreciate
to have
it,
you.
though, man.
Glad to have
Make sure you
with
hit
us,
that
man.
like and share. Al,
No
okay,
doubt,
Al.
Al. No doubt,
Peace,
Al.
man. Cool.
Thank
cool.
you,
Thank you
man.
for being
Thank
here.
you.
Al, you family now, brother. So
For real.
welcome.
For real.
You're
Thank
Welcome
you
to
for
the
paying
fold.
attention to
And if
us.
you call yourself Guacamole Kid, you must make some mean guacamole. Bring that here. I'll have the chips.
You know what I'm saying? I bring the beer. I bring the
Right? You
beer.
bring the beer, I'll bring the chips. You bring the guacamole.
For real, man.
So yeah, so thank you for being here.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Man, so what's been going on with y'all fellas?
Man, chilling, dog.
I went to see Groove yesterday with the kids, and
What?
I went to see Groove.
Oh,
Groove.
yeah.
Yeah, that's funny as hell. I like the minions. They're funny. They be speaking Spanish and shit, so I know what the fuck they're saying. You know, they're funny as hell. Whoever writes them, that's funny. These little dudes are funny as fuck.
I heard that the language they speak is like a combination of like it's like Spanish, like Vietnamese, and something else.
Damn.
Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese.
Portuguese, like a Spanish, and something that's mixed in there. It might be Vietnamese, but they pick up the sometimes you know because of the situation they're in, you know exactly what he just said.
Right.
Even though he said it a certain way,
Right.
You know, if I was in that situation, I'm gonna say this, and when the way they show him mannerism, you say, "Oh yeah, he said exactly what I would have said." I don't know shit about that. He did.
For those of y'all who have kids, if y'all ever watch Adventure Time, there's a character on that show called the Unicorn Princess, right? And she's this unicorn, but their bodies are shaped like rainbows. Okay, so but the character speaks like a combination of Vietnamese and something else. It's like a combination of a couple of different like foreign languages, but the way they play it, it makes it sound totally different. And she's the only, her and her family are the only characters in the show that speak like that. This shit's crazy, man.
Singing on the combinations number 24.
Here you go.
My bad.
Here you go.
I'm stupid. My bad.
Hey, I'm good.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
What you want to do, man?
Right.
How you want to do this tonight,
I don't know, you can talk about it. He's the political one
If you
here.
want to go there, we can go there.
What you want to do
It's the
tonight,
political
man? You
one.
know we game.
Well, you just
chilling,
you know,
man.
you
I'm
said
chilling,
that,
man.
and you said combination. So I thought about, you know, the pork fried rice, chicken, and shrimp combination, number 24.
Number 24. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna stop.
I promise y'all we get way more serious than this, but that's how we start out, man. We gotta, you know, loosen up the body. You know what I'm saying?
Los is getting his lungs
Yeah.
warmed up. That's all it is.
It's gonna get deeper, I promise you. Tiffany show, Taboo Tuesdays tomorrow.
Yes.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Hopefully you watch this before tomorrow, but you have to watch tomorrow, Tuesday.
God, yes.
Tuesday, 26th July. You have to watch
God,
this show.
yes.
You have to watch this show.
Please.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe what was being said and how open it was. It was really good fucking show. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. You know, I know it bings at 7 every day, so don't act like you don't know. It bings every day. That phone says, bing, what's that?
But
Daily
man.
Smoke, Daily Smoke.
What did you get out of it, man?
Well, you know, I came in on the tail end of it, so I didn't get the full
Of
effect.
course you did.
Here you go. Here you go.
Come on. Come on, man.
You making Los cough.
It's gonna be good.
I'm high already.
It's gonna be good.
But man, now I forgot what I was saying.
I'm sorry, man. Got it. Go ahead.
Coming in from the back to the show.
We're gonna lose so many minutes.
Nobody.
Lord,
Okay, man, I'm sorry. I'll be good. I will be good. I'll be good. I will be
I was
good.
surprised at what
Okay.
was how they opened up, how open
Right,
everybody
right.
was talking.
Yeah.
And then speaking of that, our number one since day one.
oh yes.
Yes,
We must acknowledge.
yes,
We
yes,
must acknowledge.
yes,
We must acknowledge. Because now we know you.
And when I
Yes.
say number one, from day number one, show
Yes.
number one, when I wasn't even here, when he
wasn't
wasn't even
even
here,
here.
he wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And she's still with us now.
Yeah.
And that's Miss, what is it, Evelyn Pierce?
Evelyn Pierce.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What would we call it, Mother Queenie?
Thank you so much.
Queen
Queen
Mother.
Mother.
Queen Mother.
Yeah,
Thank you so
Daily
much,
Smoke.
She is
Thank
the
you
official
so
Queen Mother
much.
of the Daily Smoke.
Absolutely.
So yeah, she wins the title.
And she wasn't scared to come on. Look, she
At
came
all.
on. You'll see that tomorrow.
Oh, she
all.
came on.
She came on. So
She
y'all
came on. She
you
came
have
with
to
it.
watch the show. That man, that was something.
It was
else. Man, we were
beautiful,
sitting there
man.
talking about, man, this is good.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I don't want to interrupt. That's why, and that'll be the reason also why it's not a normal hour. It goes maybe an hour and 24 minutes.
Right.
But stay with it.
It's
You
worth
have to, man. That was a hell of a show, man. If you like what we do and what we talk about and things like that, and we're gonna get into what we normally do, this is what was going on. This was plain wolfed in. Just say whatever the fuck you got to say.
Man, Tiffany Scales, thank you so much for bringing those individuals onto our platform with us or what have you. And I think the special you're gonna have tomorrow, the episode you're gonna have tomorrow, is going to even more orient our audience to what we really all are about.
Yes.
So
yes.
thank you so much for being a part of this dream and this vision, and you are one of us. Thank you so much. What's the brother's name that came? Start with an S.
It was Saint.
Saint. Thank you
that's
so
right.
much, Saint, and the
Yes,
sister that
and
joined us.
Sister Chanel.
Chanel,
C5,
thank you so much.
C5, I think is what Tiffany
And Queen Mother.
and Queen Mother.
Miss
This was-
Pierce,
man,
thank
that
you
was a great
so
show,
much for
great show.
joining us.
Yeah.
And we cannot wait for that episode to air tomorrow because that really sums up what we were about because they had a discussion.
Yes, they did.
They had a discussion from where we are, where we're going, and where we've been.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So everyone in that discussion, like you may say to yourself, hey, look, I'm 35. No, I'm sorry. I'm 45. I'm 55, 65. I don't relate to what these two individuals are saying. That's what Queen Mother was representing. This is what I experienced in the 50s, in the 60s, or what have you. And then we're like, hey, things have changed since then. So you had other individuals that were sitting next to Tiffany that were saying, Queen Mother, we get it, but this is what we're dealing with now. And they had a really beautiful dialogue.
Right.
Please watch tomorrow's show if you don't watch nothing else.
It was so very
Please
open
watch.
and just honest, and people really were trying to. You could tell people were trying to listen to each other.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just okay. Let me just jump in when I can get in. It was I'm really trying to understand your point of view. Let me understand. Talk
Yes,
to
brother.
me. And
Yes.
that was the beautiful part about
was
it.
so
and just to answer Guacamole Kid's question, we're from Houston, brother.
Houston,
So if you're in the
H-Town.
Houston area,
What's up,
so
Howdy?
holla at us. Now if you
What's up,
want
Howdy?
to, and we'll make that guacamole thing happen.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
if you're not in the Houston area, then we can always have you on the show by remote. So
Right.
let us know, man. Hit up the website. Hit up the website.
Right.
And check us out live. Call in 281
Right now. You can call in right
968-1029. You watching the show right now? You want to comment what we talking about? Hey man, call in right now. I know we hadn't gone into the major discussion that our brother Jam is going, spearhead today. But if you want to call in, you want to give us some compliments or criticisms, we open to it all. We really are. It's all about you all, man. We the People's Podcast for real. For real, man.
Just know that. And people are starting to see that. Like I said, Queen Mother came. She wasn't scared. Don't
Right.
be scared. Tell them, Queen Mother, you had a good time.
Absolutely.
We don't
And that's-
bite.
Because we know you watching.
And that's another
We don't
thing
bite.
too for our older audience members, because I know we have a few older audience members. Don't think this excludes you. We talking
No.
about you too, because Queen Mother, I think she said she was 70.
Yeah, like
what, 75?
around the same age as my mother.
Yeah, so she's in that age bracket. She came and sat down with us, and we, they were able to have a really open, genuine, honest conversation. So please, if you watching us and you in your 80s and you can get over here, or
Get
we
over
can
here.
remote you in, if you can figure that out, then hey,
Gotcha.
we'll work with you.
Right.
Gotcha.
Just like he said, it's where we are, where we're going, and where we've been.
Right.
And it was
Gotcha.
represented it beautifully. It was really
We are
nice.
so humble.
Really nice.
And
And we
we've
were
got-
even asked questions along the way toward the end, so you may get to hear some of us comment on certain things that they asked us.
And to his point, by the way, if you watch Tiffany Scales' inaugural episode, you will see we don't always get along in terms of like what we think or agree with what other people think and believe.
Right.
And we will challenge each other
Right.
on those points. So if you're watching this for the first time, let's say like, Brother Guacamole, if you're watching this for the first time, hey mama, if you're watching this for the first time, I want you to understand, this is not a platform where there's groupthink. This is not a platform where everyone has to get along. You know what I mean? This is a platform where whatever idea it is that you have and you really believe it, we're going to challenge you, and one or two things going to happen. You gonna convince us, or we gonna convince you, or I should say three. It's gonna be a stalemate.
Right.
But there will always be respect.
Right.
Always. Period.
That's how you
Always.
think. That's how you think.
So we really do appreciate all of our viewers tonight. Thank you so much, and that's what we are.
I've ended some of those. Man, fuck y'all. That's what I think. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, you would.
Changing my mind. I don't give a fuck.
You would do it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
For real.
I'm not changing my. This
You
is
would
how
do
I
it
do
on
that,
you.
and that's period. Boom.
You would do it on.
So yeah, so I know I do that sometimes.
So man, what we
But,
talking about?
So what we talking
tonight,
about? Let me
man?
get this started. Let me get this started.
So
The
we-
political hour with Jam.
Oh, right. It's
So
damn,
we had one word left on our words with meaning from our words with meaning series, and that word was insurrection, and that just so happened to coincide with the end.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Keep going. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that, dude.
That the fact that we ran out of time and didn't get that word, but that was also right before the last day of the hearings from the January 6th committee.
Mm-hmm.
We said, okay, we'll hold it off and let the hearings finish.
Yes.
So we can kind of talk about both.
Yes.
We just did this last week.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
So the
next week
timing of it was perfect. Yeah.
came
Yes.
out just right. So that's why we held it back. But again, it was an insurrection. So again, Marion and the Webster do this is what they tell.
I listen.
You know, they say the definition of insurrection: an act or instant of revolting against civil authority or an established government. And then again, those cinnamon toast crunch things for it. Synonyms: it's insurgents, insurrection, mutiny, outbreak, rebellion, and what is this one? Revolt. And each one of those means insurrection, but it depends on how the outcome of each one of those comes out, or what the reason was it started, and that's what the words mean. That, not insurrection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, a mutiny. It's an insurrection, but it happens on a boat in the Navy out in the sea, not on land. So you can't call
Oh,
it
really?
insurrection. That's a mutiny. But yes, they're inciting against the civil authority, the captain of the ship. You know, so that's what that means. And the only other thing that I had, because like I said, I follow this shit, but some of that shit, like I said, these people do the same.
But it's important.
It is important, but you know, because I don't watch too much of the news, like with this whole thing about words have meaning, it's like I understand what some of those words mean and how they're putting it a certain way. So I'm listening, but it's not going to be always constant in my mind.
But it's important, brother.
You know, no, I understand that. It is important to know what if you're going to be getting into it. My thing is, if I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know shit, then I'm not going to say nothing about it.
I'm not
Unless I know some shit.
I'm not
you know?
challenged.
No, I know.
What I'm trying to say is, the reason he brought this up is because he's trying to show us the double standard.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I
And he's
understand
trying
that.
to show
Mhm.
people that are taking it for granted
Right.
the double standard. For you, it may be normal. Correct me if I'm wrong. For you, it may be normal, meaning if a white person feels they have the right to rush our capital and it not be considered an insurrection, you need to understand when black people do it
Oh, I know.
or Hispanics do it,
Hell yeah.
have that same attitude.
Right. Keep that same spirit.
That is the importance.
I mean, for me,
of why he's bringing this up.
You know, and I understand that, and I do understand it because for me it was like, you know what, going by what we are told to do as citizens, they had to do what they had to do, but because they were doing it under that one flag, no, brother, you're not doing it for the country, you're doing it for that flag. I can't roll with you. But if it was for the country, I don't see a problem.
What flag was it?
They were under the Trump flag. They were going by him, not for the United States of America, for him.
But
that's why I was like, you know what, that's fucked up.
And here's what I'll say. Because in at least from what I gather, from the things that I've been watching, you know, keeping track of and all this kind of stuff, realistically speaking, a lot of the rank and file, and you see them, you know, people make fun of them when they do interviews and stuff at the Trump rallies and all that, and they sound kind of crazy and sound like they might be kind of slow, you know, but a lot of those people really did believe it. Now, don't get me wrong. There was, as the hearings were showing, there was coordination and shit going on in the background for some of those folks to get it to that point. But some of those people were there. Some of those people who were there were true believers. They bought the propaganda hook, line, and sinker. Now, in that spirit, in that mind frame, and I think even you've said this before, if you thought your country was under attack from the inside, if that's what you truly believed, then they did what Americans were supposed to do. For those who truly believed, they did what they were supposed to do. They said, okay, I'm going to go stand up and fight against my government because some shit is going down that's foul. Now, like you were saying before, would we be able to do the same thing if the color scheme was different?
Let's take color out of it. Let's deal with what they did.
Okay.
Was it insurrection?
I think the people attacking the Capitol was less of an insurrection and more of a riot. The insurrection was happening in the back. The insurrection wasn't on camera that day. It wasn't the crowds of people. That wasn't the insurrection. That was the distraction.
But it was coordinated, so that means it's not a riot.
Right? True. The people who well, I guess I could say it like this: an insurrection is really only an insurrection if you fail.
True.
If you succeed, then
True.
it's a rebellion.
True.
You stood up against a bad thing.
Like Harper's Ferry. True.
Right.
That's why I said a lot of those words were only depending on the outcome. You can use that word. Revolt, rebellion. Can't because it starts off with something different. It might be a rebellion, but if you lose, you do shit. But if you win, then you can call it that. But you can't call it that's what I would learn. And I'm like, okay, man, that's how you gonna.
But how did you feel?
You mean
in terms of like when they did that and you turned on your TV and you saw all of these people rushing the Capitol? How did you feel when you saw that? Because you have to remember that's a very important part of whether this is a riot or if it's an insurrection.
True.
How did I'm alive. If this is sedition versus an insurrection, how did you feel when you saw that? That's the question.
like I said, because they were doing it under that flag, I ain't like that. Like, man, y'all can be doing this shit.
Of Trump's face.
Yeah.
But what if
his
Trump
flags?
Let's reverse it. Let's have a good conversation, y'all. What if the flag was George Washington and the government was King George? What now? What now?
Give a fuck either way. I mean, I'm not gonna roll with that. It depends on. I mean, so that's what they did way back. But okay, that's the flag. The play. I'm talking about our flag, American flag.
That's what that's their point of view.
But they weren't representing that. They didn't show me that they were representing that. They were representing him, only him.
Do y'all understand what Trump was or is?
I guess I don't.
No, I'm not trying to attack nobody.
No.
This is very important. Do y'all really understand what Trump represents? Not what he is in and of himself. Do you understand what Trump represents? Because, see, that may be the miscommunication we're having.
White picket fence.
To a large degree.
The white picket fence.
To a very large degree.
That's what he represents.
What does he represent
It's
is
the
the
beginning
question.
to fascism. That's what Trump really represents, because he wants that power for himself, and he's.
I know it's a hard conversation. That's why we do
He
these
had a lot of
podcasts.
mugs that believe
That's
that
why
shit
we do
was
these
wrong.
podcasts.
That made it that way. If you're not going to dismiss them people, then you're going to talk about these white supremacists. Well, there was some good people in that crowd. Come on, man. You're supposed to represent all of us.
But there was black people there too.
So, well, then, and let's, but he
In minority.
But he went talking about
In
that,
minority.
There were some Hispanic people there too.
In minority.
Right.
If we're going to punish them, then punish yourself for being a citizen.
True.
If we're going to punish them for supporting that, punish yourself for being an American citizen. Because it's still the same direct ratio of representation. We're only 12% in terms of black people. We're only 12% of a nation of about 400 million people.
Yeah.
So if you're going to look at what happened on January 6th, well, it was only 7, 8 niggas there, 9 spics there, whatever. Well, hell, how many white folks was there? And then what was the ratio of representation? You have an exact damn representation of what was going on in America to this day. So let's not penalize them.
Right. So these
Let's talk about the issue.
12%.
Yeah, let's talk about the issue. Hey, man.
Somebody's calling in.
Oh, good. I hope it's guacamole, man.
Somebody named Janice Hilbert, or what about
Janice, that's my godmother, I think.
Janice Hilbert?
Oh, I don't know Hilbert. I don't know that.
Don't really know.
I got it. Hello?
All right.
Oh, hold on.
We're gonna get one.
I did. But
Hang
I
on,
forgot to
we
put it on.
coming.
We
Make
got
sure
you.
you
We
turn
got
down your volume.
We got you.
Hello, can you hear me? All right, there we go. How are you? And who do we have on the line?
It's hard to communicate a little bit because what I'm seeing on the screen isn't exactly timed with what I'm hearing on the telephone. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
not-
yeah.
Oh, it's a delay.
About
Yeah.
a 8-second delay.
You might want to either mute your TV or maybe turn the volume down so that way it doesn't get confusing.
Yeah, I did that.
Good deal. Thank you for calling in,
What are
brother.
you
Yes.
guys? What are you guys' names?
Oh, this is Jam.
I'm Brother Los.
I'm Ron.
Jan, Lo, and Ron.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I had a couple of things that I think that I might be able to help add a little insight as far as kind of what we're dealing with what is going on with this insurrection.
Okay.
And it's something that a lot of people kind of are overlooking, or they haven't really thought about too much. And that the main thing is like globalism. You know what the difference between globalism and populism is?
I don't. No.
No. This is interesting.
Globalism, the people who are the globalists are a specific group of people. Well, specific people. You know what I'm saying? They're not some kind of conspiracy theory. They're a specific group of people, but their goal is to have a global controlled government. You know what I mean? That's why they call them globalists. They want to control everything, basically. So their aim is to make every country kind of the same and to kind of manipulate society to have this where you're more of a collective. You're not really an individual as much. Now, in the populace, it means that you govern your own country by your own constitution. It might not be perfect. You might still have problems and divisions and blah, 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 but you govern yourself. You're independent. You know what I mean? So what I am is a populist. I want to go by our Constitution that says all men are created equal, you know, and that is what people don't understand. What we are in a battle, a war against, is globalism versus populism. And globalism, to me, represents basically we'll all be slaves.
Okay.
Say the last part again. I didn't hear him that well.
You said that globalism represents to him that they'll all be slaves. We'll all be slaves.
Oh, okay.
The goal of globalism is total control over everybody. They want to have where you're on your phone. If you don't say the right things and have the right opinions, you will have a less score on your phone. It'll say, you know, your social credit score is 50. That means that you can't go to the store and buy anything. And anybody who talks to you is going to get their score lower. That's what the Chinese do to control
Absolutely.
their people. When they fuck up or they say something, oh, the government's bad, blah, 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 boom, man, your phone hears you, your score goes down, and they get down to a certain point, you're out on the street, nobody can deal with you because if they do, they're fucked. So, I mean, that's the kind of society the globalists want. And my point is, you can say whatever you want about Trump. They investigated his ass for 5 years and had to wind up making shit up about it. Some people just don't like him. We get it. But he's not a globalist. The globalists hate Trump. Trump, if you like him, don't like him, he is a populist. And that's why this whole thing, this insurrection, was people acting like Trump supporters. And if you're just tuning into these hearings, you wouldn't know that, but I studied the crap out of it, and it's all on video. All the people who did all this stuff, all the rioting, caused the trouble, started the trouble, were not arrested. The people who just were in there maybe or whatever, they got arrested. If they're Trump supporters, it was a setup. You know what I mean? For right or wrong, it was a setup. So that's my point, and that's what people are missing. It has nothing to do with black or white or anything like that. It has to do with globalism versus populism. Globalism will all be slaves. Doesn't matter what color we are.
Yeah, true.
No,
We may need to have him on the show talking about those two topics right there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Absolutely.
This was I learned something new here.
Absolutely. He to his point. And what was your name again, brother?
My name is Al.
Al. Oh, that's Guacamole Kid.
That's
What's up,
Guacamole Kid.
Guacamole?
What's up, Guacamole?
What's happening? What's happening? Hey, man, if I may ask a quick question before we go into deeper waters. How did you find this, brother?
How did I find out about this?
Yes.
Well, to be honest with you, about 6 or 7 years ago, I got a divorce. And I was in a depressed state, and I was outside walking one day, and I looked up in the sky, and I noticed something I'd never noticed before. There were planes flying around, just spraying shit out of the back of them, and it was basically making clouds. And I went around and I told people, I said, look up in the sky. People are up there, planes are up there just spraying clouds, you know, and they, oh, you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. But it kind of led me down, you know, a path or whatever where I just started paying attention to what's going on. But, you know, the thing about the insurrection is that there's video of it all. So it's kind of hard, you know, I mean, all these people are having these hearings, but they're just editing these films and stuff. I mean, if you really see the real picture of what happened, there were several people that were going around trying to say, hey, we got to go inside, we got to go inside. There was one guy who was taking down do not enter signs and fencing, you know what I mean, before Trump was even done speaking. If you went to Washington, D.C. on a cold day, you went to hear Trump. You didn't go to stand by the Capitol and fuck around with a bunch of people, you know, that are rioting. Man, there was probably as many leftists acting like Trump supporters there that day as there were actual Trump supporters. And I'm not saying some Trump supporters didn't probably do some stuff that was wrong. You know, I'm not saying if somebody did something against the law or whatever, but I think, man, this was a setup from the word go. And the, you know, it's like I don't have any special allegiance to any politician or anything. You know what I mean? It's I admire some people, and some people I don't like what they do. But, you know, I mean, we got to get away from the personality contest and really start thinking about what kind of world we want.
But hold on,
you know?
not to cut you off, but just as a question, where's the evidence of leftists being in the riot?
Well, there's a video that will get you started as far as it uses 6 different cameras of people who were there. And it follows the Ashley Babbitt thing, you know, from beginning to end.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's a good place to start because that one, you know, I mean, I've watched that it's called Analyzed Hoax. It's on BitChute. Analyzed Hoax. And I've watched that thing probably 5 or 6 times, you know, I mean, because the first watch, you know, you're like, whoa, you know. Second time, you start catching a little bit more. As you watch it a few more times, you start really noticing and focusing on certain aspects of it. And what that was a group of people who got together and planned this Ashley Babbitt incident where they went into this hallway. They had fake cops. They had people that were bashing at the windows. They had, you know, when you watch it, you'll see what I mean. You know, I'd like to have you guys watch it and then see if you agree with me.
Send it to us.
I mean, maybe I'm seeing something that.
Send it to us.
You know, I didn't.
Right.
But that's just one team. There was another guy named Ray Epps, and he's on video. You know, I mean, it's various places that you can find it. But, you know, one thing that they've done, you guys, is people are reluctant to go to sources that they don't trust. Oh, that's on Fox News or whatever. Man, I know what I believe. I can go on CNN and watch it and not turn into a, you know, brainwash or something, you know? I mean, people are smart enough to figure it out on their own. You know what I mean? But I just go around and try to spread the word about that people have not been given the truth about what is the real faction of what's going on in the world. It's globalism versus populism. And when you start looking at these globalists and really giving them some scrutiny, you'll see that, man, they don't really have humanity's best interest at heart. They have their best interest at heart. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like they think of shit to do all day. Does it work? They don't really care. They make money off of it, you know? I mean, so what can I say? You know, once people figure that out, then we start coming together and saying, hey, we know who the bad guys are now. Let's cut the shit, you know? And that's kind of what they call the Great Awakening, and what that is. You know, it's people like just, they've never been wrong. They just didn't really have that one or two pieces of the puzzle to put it together and say, wait a minute, you know? And then you start your own journey and figure it out on your own. Because, man, I might be wrong, you know? But, I mean, they box people into their own thoughts. You know, Trump is so bad, blah, blah, blah. You know, yeah, he's an asshole. So what? You know what I mean? If you want to send a pussy in against lions, you know, and tigers in a battle, no, man. You're
Brother Al,
just a jerk.
Brother Al, I think Brother John is going to speak to your point, but we do appreciate you calling in, man. We appreciate you watching us. We don't know how you found us, but we are blessed that you did, man. I really mean this. Yeah. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate your feedback, man.
Sorry, I cut at the end and maybe talked a little too much. But
no, you good. You good. It's the People's Podcast.
Yeah, that's what we're here
That's
for.
what we're here for. That's what we do.
Man. Bring it to us.
That's what we do.
Y'all think
So,
we're playing when
I'm-
we say that? We mean that for real.
I'm gonna let this brother go ahead and respond to your comment, but we do appreciate you because we have to keep the line open for other callers in that may want to comment on it. But thank you so much, man.
nice meeting you guys.
You
Nice
as
meeting you
well.
too, man.
Thank you.
Thank
You as well. Thank you,
you,
brother.
brother.
Thank you. John, you want to? No doubt. You want to speak to that, man?
Well, okay.
Because I have a retort.
I know you do. So, okay. And I hate to be dismissive of anyone, and I don't want this to be taken in a dismissive tone. But I do understand what he's talking about, and you're kind of, he was skirting around the edges of some conspiracy theory type stuff. And again, when you start talking about globalists, that's dog whistle for Jews. I'm not finna sit here and say the Jews are behind it. You know, I mean, let's be real. So this was fucked up and horrible for the country and all of that stuff. Nobody's arguing those points. I don't think there's anybody who would say that this was a good thing in any way. But it was smaller than that. It was a greedy, selfish man who was trying anything he could to desperately hold on to power. I honestly don't think it goes any deeper than that. You know, and that's really what it was. It was a bad attempt at a coup. It was a bad attempt at a coup. So I understand that there are some things that people will look at and say, okay, well, that's definitely a bigger issue. I don't think this was one of those. I think Trump was a horrible president. I think Trump could live the rest of his life and in happiness and carefree, and I would not care. Do I think he was a good president? Hell no. Do I think he was somehow like going to save the country?
And he did more for blacks than Obama.
Is that crazy?
But he's not a good president.
What did
Not
he do
saying
that
he
was more for blacks than Obama?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. But anyway, all I'm saying is that it was, my main point is that it was a greedy, selfish man who was just desperately trying to hold on to power, and that's what we see. He reached out to the people who could help him try to accomplish those goals, or he thought could help him accomplish those goals. But as he loves to say, he picks the best people, but then when those people turn on him eventually because he's so corrupt, then all of a sudden they're not the best people. Like, oh, his assistant, she's up under him 24/7. How did I not know this woman? To say you barely knew her, what does that mean? Doesn't mean she wasn't in the room and heard you say the things you were saying. Doesn't mean she didn't see you throw your hamburger on them up against the wall because you was mad, you know. And it doesn't mean she didn't hear the story about you trying to grab the damn steering wheel in the beast, as they call it. You know, all of these things have come out during this hearing, and you can say what you want about Trump and his presidency. We can agree to disagree on certain things when it comes to him, but when it comes to what happened on January 6th, there's not too much of a question mark that he did this. This was coordinated and planned by him. Even if every step of the process wasn't planned by him, he signed off on all of it because he wanted to try to hold on to power.
My question to you is, what happened on January 6th, if we want to make it in very basic terms, was it a good thing or a bad thing? And why? Whatever you say, was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing, and why?
Ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's going to wind up being a good thing. Because it made, I think, a lot of people in politics who didn't realize how much our government operates on handshakes and good intentions. Like, some of this shit we need to put into law. Some of these rules need to be more than just guidelines. They need to be actual fucking rules.
Like what?
Well, now, one of the ones that I think they're trying to pass right now, I've lost track of it because I want to say it made it through the House, but I'm not sure. It was basically, they're trying to codify the fact that the vice president's role in the election process, like what was going on January 6th and certifying the electoral votes, they're trying to codify that he has nothing but a ceremonial role. Like, he has no authority to change votes, stuff like that. Right. You know, those kind of things we need, like, because he tried this shit. Now they've made you realize you need to go back and plug them up.
Anything you want to say, Loscus?
No,
I'm gonna go in.
I learned something new today, so I'm gonna check
I'm
this populist and globalist shit and learn more about that. But other than that, yeah.
Look into it. Tell me.
Answer, especially when he said you just don't like Trump. I do not like Trump. I never liked him when he was an actor. I just don't like the man.
Did you like him when Mike Tyson was boxing for him?
No, I didn't give a fuck about goddamn.
Honest.
Trump.
I was liking Mike Tyson. I didn't give a damn about Trump.
Just,
Yeah.
Really,
you had no issue with him, right?
No, do what you got to do, man. Just, that's all.
I mean, at that point, he was just another rich man. You know?
I thought he was a Democrat at the time.
Right.
I thought he was a Democrat at the time.
He was at that moment.
They fucked him over.
He was a Democrat up until he became a Republican. I think that was in like the late 90s or something.
All right.
Democrats fucked him over here. So.
This is the part of the movie where Ron gets to go in.
Come on.
John, where was all of this when Hillary lost the election?
Where was all of what?
Where was all of this about, people, our election being interfered with, and we're having an autocrat or a dictator in power, and, hey, man, it's all of this conspiracy stuff. Like, where were you when they were doing investigations on saying, hey, did Russia interfere with the election process? Where were you then?
I don't understand the question, Ron,
because I'll rephrase the question then. All
Please
right.
do.
So when Democrats brought up the issue that Trump came to power through means of Russia colluding with, was it Cambridge Analytica.
Yeah.
With Cambridge Analytica. You never heard of Cambridge Analytica prior to that issue. Okay. Nor did you care. And I'm not attacking you. I'm talking about liberals as a whole. Because, and I am not a conservative by no means. I'm about fairness. No one cared nothing about Cambridge Analytica. We don't even know how they influenced what happened in the UK's election. Right. And everyone in the UK was saying, this is different.
Right.
But we didn't care.
Like, that's why I always say to him, like, you know what? With the insurrection, at least they did something. The Democrats.
I'm coming to that point. I'm coming to that point.
Russia? This is treason now.
Walk with me, brother. I'm coming to that point. I promise you, I'm coming to that point.
Come on.
Hey, man. So the Democrats sat around. We did an investigation on this man for about a year and a half, and they said, you know what? We have no conclusive evidence. The evidence was there. And that's where it ended. That's where it ended. What did these white folks do? They said, hey, man, we think that this election was stolen from us. Now, I don't care whether you're a Republican. I don't care whether you're a Democrat. I don't care whether you're a liberal. Look at what these white folks did. They said, this is our government. And there has been some type of outside influence that allowed it to not go our way. Now, you have the same exact situation as you had 4 years prior. For a year and a half, all you heard in the news, Cambridge Analytica. Who? Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
But the difference is, Ron. Okay. I think I get what you're saying.
I promise you don't.
Hold
Go ahead.
Hold on,
I promise
hold
you
on,
don't.
hold on. So, the Democrats at that time, yes, believed that there was Russian interference in the election when Trump got elected. And like you said, there's evidence that shows that. But the problem is that he wasn't able to get a conviction on that. It wasn't able to be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt or a reasonable doubt, whatever the standard is for the court.
Oh, so now you trust the court?
No. Hear me out.
Okay.
But that's the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans, or the liberals and the conservatives, however you want to phrase it. Because if it had come to a situation where we had proof that something foul had happened, we had a conviction, and then like you refused to get out, like I'm not giving up power. You'd see Democrats standing up for that. You see Democrats standing up against that, but they're not going to go off half-cocked. And look what happened when the Republicans did on a lie. They following a falsehood, because you're not looking at what you're actually following.
You done?
Come on.
When we literally dealt with there being some type of influence in our government, most of us are black in this room and consider us black, and most of us in this room, if we want to say our political leanings, let's be honest with everybody, we would always say we think we're more Democrat. So let's ride with it. The Democrats laid down belly up. You just had your government overrun. You just had an election that was not representative of a true democracy. Now, I don't know about you, but the America that I learned about, that's problem number one.
Can't be cheating.
Let's go to number two. When the same exact thing happened to the conservatives or the Republicans, they understand the Constitution so well that when the Federalist Papers said, as I told this sister on camera with her, taxation without representation is tyranny, and you're not going to take our guns. And by the way, niggas will never be in power, not real power. Whenever we see those types of principles in our government, which we built for us, make no mistake about it, they understand exactly why they rushed the Capitol. They said, we're going to literally exercise civil disobedience. That's what they did.
Stop cheating.
Don't tell me that these people didn't do what they were supposed to do and they're all of a sudden insurrectionists when it's not going your way. These people sat there and said, hey, man, Democrats, I understand we called y'all liars. We knew that you all was wrong, or we thought y'all was wrong, or was fake news, whatever you want to call it. But when it went our way, let me tell you what we do. We act on it. We act on it. Now, I am not saying, I want everyone that is within the sound of this video or view of this video to understand, I am not saying that I am a conservative. I am not saying that I'm a Democrat. I am not saying that they were right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? They utilized the damn Constitution. Why don't black people get that? And they will not be insurrectionists. You know why? Because the Constitution says, hey, at any given point in time, when this no longer applies, what did they say do with Los?
Go get that.
And burn it up.
Turn it up.
And burn it up.
Yo, change.
But if you want to be one of those people that sit on the side and say, well, you know, they said this, you know, Trump that, and it favors these people and not these people or whatever. You know what you just told me? You don't know where the fuck you live. When has this country ever been about people that are poor, minority, or women? Now go look at most of the people that showed up at the Capitol. Now tell me I'm lying.
Right, right.
That man is very well within his right. What Brother Guacamole said. Guacamole, it's not that I agree with the tenets that you may follow or what you believe in terms of globalists or populists and all of that. Brother, I get it. I promise you I do. I promise you I do. I was sharing with these brothers about the surveillance state. Right. That's what China is enacting. And that's a conversation for a different show.
And
but if
welcome to Beyond,
and you're welcome to come on here. And as a matter of fact, I'm in agreement with that part. But if we're going to talk about, hey, Trump this, Trump that, man, let me tell y'all what Trump represents. Trump is a white dude. Trump's wife is a hoe. That's what she is.
No, that's true. That's true.
She was a stripper.
Yeah.
That's what she is. This ain't his first wife, nor his only one.
And she married him for money.
Okay.
That ain't even a
Trump,
question.
Trump is all about money. And most of all, Trump is all about himself. We know he's not prejudiced because too many niggas made money for him. We know he's not prejudiced. He may be a means to an end. And I am not validating Trump as an individual. I'm telling you, you had to get along with way too many black people to get to where you are now, to be the diehard racist that media is trying to make you out to be. Either that or you're a really good actor. You need to be in Hollywood. Let's be real about this. You got to know what you're dealing with. This man is about himself. Now, this man also understands he is the embodiment of the American spirit. And that is what black people,
I'll agree with that.
That is what women, that is what gays, lesbians, handicaps, that's what we're fighting against.
That's true.
But if you want to make this about Trump, you be my guest. That's what I got to say on it. And I'll battle that to the day I die. Trump is not the problem. You got a problem with Trump? Start at home.
That's like I've heard a lot of people say Trump is a symptom.
I understand this white man.
Trump is a symptom. He's not the illness.
He is not the illness.
I'll agree with you on that.
He is not the illness.
He represents that white male patriarchy that has and wealthy patriarchy that has run America since its beginning.
John, at least they think about it, brother. At least they had the guts to risk death, to risk imprisonment, to risk X, Y, and Z or whatever when they overran the Capitol. You automatically knew they weren't doing this because they some mad white folks. These people are connected to a principle that they really believe in. They're not doing this because they bored. Stop me if I'm wrong, anyone in the room. They're not doing this because they got shit else to do. These people really believe in this. And the day, and this is all I'm gonna say because I know we got 6 minutes before we have to start the next show. I mean this. The day that the Constitution includes your gay ass, your black ass, your female ass, your handicap ass, you gonna respond the same way. But until that happens, that's what's gonna show up on your Capitol. And your objective and our objective on this show is to make sure one day all of us are equal.
Right.
But we're not going to get there by saying, hey, you know what, that white dude over there, that white chick over there, they the problem. We're not going to get there.
No.
But if that makes sense to you, you got it. 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 I know it very well. My mother taught me very well, man. I know white people better than they know themselves. I know them better than they know themselves. And that is the truth. And that is not a racist statement.
And y'all can believe that. You know,
That is not a racist statement.
and study with these people.
I studied them very well. I know what I'm talking about, brothers. I'm sorry, but I get emotional about that because I love where I live and I love my people. And it's just that simple, man. I'm done. No, bro.
No matter what, we got to still be here. With all the bullshit we got, we still have to be
I don't see nobody trying to get up out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? America messed up. I don't see nobody trying to immigrate up out of here. You know, it's messed up, but I don't see nobody leaving. And it's bad.
Everywhere else.
It's real bad.
Like you think it's
Oh,
bad here.
They ain't building borders to get out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think it's bad here.
Oh my God, it's 7:56. So thank y'all so much.
I kept waiting on you to jump in, man.
Yo, here.
I'm so sorry, man.
Make the money, make the
I
money.
gotta read the paper. All right.
Gotta
So
make that
I gotta
money.
read the paper, sis. All right. So we want to first and foremost thank our sponsors, Banging 832 Radio. Thank you all so much for posting our episodes every Sunday night at 7:00. We're very, very appreciative for what you all do, and please show that streaming radio service love, because they really are committed to Houston-based artists, musicians,
And podcasts.
podcasts,
Right.
exactly,
Right.
as well. So please show your support for them. Go to bangin832.com, okay? Also, we have massages coming up.
You know what I'm saying? We, gonna be
We
all
have-
jelly up.
I'm looking forward to that.
You know what I mean? Sign me up. You don't want yours? I want it. We're split in half.
Right,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
telling you,
But
you take half in, I take half in.
I got you. I'm right
Ooh.
there. We got Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. It's www.tamiaanderson, TAMIA Anderson.com. If you can't spell it, go back to school. .com. And to get with life, get a massage. She is a really, really good individual. She's one of the first individuals that opened a lot of doors for our podcast,
Yeah.
as well as she's a really humble individual. And thank you so much for that. And we met her through Danessa, whom we have something coming up as well. We love you too, Danessa.
We love you,
got
Danessa.
As soon as you get it together, we'll make it official.
Right?
And so, last but not least, we also have the Southport Coalition's 35th anniversary concert. That's going to be on September the 10th from 8 p.m. until 2 a.m. at the Scout Bar. And the address is 18307 Egret Bay Boulevard. That's EGRET Bay Boulevard. Of course, that's here in Houston, 77058. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite, and pre-sale is $25 and VIP is $50. But if you wait till you get to the door, you're looking at about $30 to get in. So, you know.
And not VIP.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I
Yes, you're
mean?
ahead of time.
You know, so we really appreciate those brothers as well. They really support our platform. And through it all, I want to say, I know our conversations can get a little bit heated, emotional,
That's how we do.
animated, but that's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we
We're
do.
real.
And
Appreciate the man. That was good.
we got the episode for tomorrow.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Again, like we said at the beginning of the show, you have to go check out tomorrow.
This episode, I'm telling y'all,
Telling
please,
you, man.
please tune in and watch it. I wasn't even here for the whole conversation, so I'm gonna be watching from the beginning because
Yes.
I want to see the parts that I missed out on because the stuff I came in on. Okay,
Yes.
please check out tomorrow's episode.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow night, right here, 7 p.m.
Oh,
Park
yeah.
Bing Bing. I know it gonna bing. So
And what's the name of the episode, Sister Tiff?
Gotta tune in to find out.
There it is.
go to the website.
There it is.
Go to the
There it is.
Website.
There it
Please
is.
check
Upcoming events, it's already there, and the whole description is there. So go check it out. But you have to tune in. You just have to.
Please do.
Ladies and
Please do.
gentlemen, this is really good. If you believe in us, this is good. So watch it.
On the dot, 7:59. I'm Brother Ron,
Brother Los.
Brother Jam.
and we are the Daily Smoke, and we are out. Thank you all for joining us.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Love y'all.